when you work with that sort of energy. In working with dragons, they taught us the energy of co-creation, how to co-create. How do you do it? How does it work? And I came from the homeopathic background, but I came very much, what made sense to me was the periodic table and the different vibration, the different densities of the elements on the periodic table, and how they seem to fit in with the personality types, which we knew from Scholten, who was a Dutch homeopath who's written some books about that, but how the dragons fitted in to these personality types as well. As they came in each one in a different place in the beginning, I think we first thought there was going to be 12. Then we got up to 22 and we thought, oh yeah, 22 is a master builder. That's the number, you know. More and more and more, and we have nearly 300 now. Because the dragons came, and then the baby dragons came, and now we're working with stars. So each dragon has its own energy. It has the energy of the baby that works with the inner child, with healing any traumas from the past, and it works with the future. And this is one of the things that they taught us and continue to teach us, because it takes us a while to get it, because we're surrounded by a collective intelligence, a collective consciousness of humanity that is very negative. Most of the time, all of the news we see is negative on television, and we see the wars and the fighting and all of the bad things that happen, but we get very little good news. So the dragons help us to focus on what it is that you truly want to manifest. Little things, small things. It doesn't have to be enormous, because what they've been teaching us is to take the steps and to go as we work with these energies and we work with ourselves, we connect with our higher self. We connect with the dragon energy team. We connect with the earth and all the elemental beings. And we create a chain of information within ourselves. Because we are individual parts of the whole. And each one of us is very important, because each one of us has a different perspective on life. And through each one of us, the universe, the whole, the one, the unity, the goddess, whatever we want to call her, is learning more about herself and how energy works, how manifestation works, because we are the manifestations of the earth. In our physical beings, we are the representation of the planet. Our bodies are born from here, and they're born through another body. Our spirits and our souls come from source, from the cosmic whole being. And there's very many stories, over the years of how dragons have worked, in Chinese culture, Indian culture, Irish culture. Practically every race on the planet has dragon stories. And they're always to do with the elements, air, fire, water, earth, and the ethers. How they work, how they can manipulate the weather, how they can manipulate the farms. That's on the positive side.
In China, they are revered and seen in a positive light. They are symbols of power, wisdom, protection, luck, and even rain control. So they are responsible for the weather in the Chinese culture. They associated with the elements, the earth, for example, the dragons associated with stability, fertility, and the solid foundation of life. They also represented on the fire element because they breathe the fire that symbolized transformation and also passion. And water, because they control the rains, the rivers, ensuring that there is balance in nature. And air, because their wings allow them to fly through the skies and they connect through the element of air, they connect heaven and earth. So you can see the dragons in the Greek mythologies, Norse mythology. The Vikings were completely convinced that the dragons existed. The ships also have the face of the dragon in the front to scare the enemies. And for them, dragons symbolize transformation, energy, and also chaos. In Japan, they are celestial beings as well, associated with water and rain. In India, they mixed the snake and the dragons. And in Celtic and Germanic cultures, they are often representing threats to heroes and damsels in distress.
Yeah,
So in other cultures, they could be symbolized like destruction and evil. So the dragons are the reason why our dragons, the Dragonlight team, chose the symbol of dragon to work, it's because it's all cultures in humanity have a symbol of a dragon somewhere at some point.
yeah.
Did they exist? Did the dragons exist? Well, why? Why every culture in the planet has this
Has
connection with
dragon
dragons, has a
symbology.
dragon story, has a dragon. So it is there. It's in the psyche. It's there. And, children are absolutely passionate about dragons. So for us, they are very real. And we're never going to tell you to believe in dragons because we learned to work with them and feel them and we know the dragons are there. We feel the energy. It's different than believing. When you believe, you're trying to force something down the throat of somebody who's hopefully very intelligent and they're tired of being convinced of something. But when you work and you see the results and you have an experience, when you are in trouble and all of a sudden this strength from nowhere comes and you can carry on. I mean, it comes from within, no longer from, yeah, I believe in dragons, I trust dragons. We're not going to go there. Sorry,
Yeah,
Natalie.
that's all right. But yeah, it's truly not believing in anything that made me trust them. Because I had really given up on religion, I had given up on a lot of things at the point when they turned up. And I felt, these entities were speaking with us as if we were equals.
Yeah.
It wasn't some higher power saying you must go to Stonehenge and download an essay. No, that was not the story at all. Everything was under negotiation. And that was the fun part of it, because we're learning still to negotiate with ourselves, with our higher self, and not, there were certain rules that they gave. And one of the first rules was, we're all one. It wasn't rule, it was an information. We're all one, we all come from source. This is how it works. And They explained a bit about the dimensions, which I will explain to you in a little while. And then the next thing was, don't give your power to anybody. You are a powerful being. You are an important being. We want you to reach your highest potential. There's nobody going to rule over you. You're the one that are going to make your own decisions. So that in itself is very scary sometimes, because you would like to be able to follow something or other. But then as the essences came through, you really felt them. There was a power, there was an alignment that came. There was the changes and the synchronicities that were happening in life. And like, there was no get out of jail free card either. We had to do our own stuff. And we had our own personal histories and our own family challenges to deal with. There was no, just because you're working with dragons, you don't get to have to do any of that. There was no sainthood, I can tell you that from the start. There was plenty of rubs and, who's doing this and who's doing what and what's going on, and having to deal with our own family stuff. So it's been interesting. That's, I think, the best part of it all. It's the interest, it's keeping, yes, we've had down days and up days, but when it comes around, when you finally get the breakthrough into yourself and what's going on with you and why it's going on with you, the wisdom comes. And it just releases you from the judgment. Any judgment goes out, it's gone, it's dissolved. Nobody's judging me. I'm my own person. I'm responsible for myself. This self-responsibility is a big thing as well. And I take my own steps, I make my own choices, I'm respectful of other people and other people's choices. We all have our own road to walk. And some people wake up quicker than others. And
I was just going to be a bit more technical. What's the difference? I mean, the difference between there are many types of dragons. People working with dragons, you will see them sprouting everywhere. So we call our dragons the Dragon Light team. And when they came with through 3 particular missions. And the first one was about cleansing the planet. We talk a lot about the energy, how we're destroying nature, and all sorts of rubbish and in everywhere. But there is an energetic rubbish that we've been collecting over centuries. We've been playing with black magic. We've been having terrible thoughts about each other. We created war. We created all sorts of things that is in the air. It's around us. So they asked us to begin this cleansing work, which is one of so far, we know a lot of people who work with essences, flower essence, crystal essences. There is nobody who works with those heavy energies, only the dragons. We have like copper dragons who work with negotiating the exit of some heavy energies. We have violet dragon who works with transmute and transformation. We have, oh my God, sorry, a chrome dragon who works with protection, and you can literally feel the wings around you. We have magic dragons that obviously works with transmuting magic. And we have others. We have purple dragons for people who work with other people. And that was one part. The second part, they said that human race needed to be, we're no longer children. We were quite as a race quite retarded, in a sense, emotionally retarded. And we were not able to create the planet that we wanted to, but now we are. So we needed to be calling our power back and own it so that we can begin the third thing, which is the co-creation.
Yeah.
Lots of
We
people
needed
need
to mature was really what it is. We need to grow up. We need to mature as beings and taking
we had
responsibility.
in our slavery in our DNA. We were created. We had interference in our creation, and we were born to be slaves to higher
Yeah.
beings. And that's just, if you notice, look at your life, it just comes naturally. You just serve, like you don't even question, you just do it. And so the dragons are kind of stirring this inside of us to release the pattern of slavery, own the mastery, become your true powerful self, own it, because they say we all have dragon essence. Own your dragon essence.
Yeah. And these patterns of slavery come through many, many, many. I mean, we're looking at least the last 10,000 years or 11,000 years or more of these patterns that we were programmed to work for the higher beings. Now, they might have been human, they might have been half human, half God, or whatever they were. But we were the ones that did the mining and we did the farming and we did all of that. So we grew up with that. It's in our DNA, it's in our history, it's in our ancestors. This work ethic of working for other people,
Serving
serving, selling our time for money, for
and suffering.
and a
Suffering
lot
would be
of suffering that goes with it. And these patterns, as we begin to clear them, working because of the ability and the transmute, how they can transmute the power to break these patterns, we're being relieved, you know. And this system goes through from Dragon Coaching 1, which is, you know, the basic how to co-create your reality. Dragon Coaching 2 goes a bit deeper into how to work with the energies, how to balance your chakras, how to work with the pillars, how to work with money. That comes on the second coaching table. And then Dragon Coaching 3 takes us into our ancestry and helps us to heal the ancestors and heal where we came from. Not just the ancestors themselves, but we have to heal the earth, the patterns. What patterns did they leave in the land? We know that rocks and crystals and trees and plants can give us energies, can give us vibrations. We've been, since Dr. Bach, we've been making flower essences and crystal essences. But what if there was a war on that land? What if somebody was killed there? What pattern is that land holding? So it goes all the way through us, through our bloodlines, to the land where we come from, to help heal the land itself and heal the waters. And we had an amazing planetary session in December, the last planetary group, when we got together. It was all about healing the waters. And we had visits from Matumoso and people who worked with water their whole life and the blessing of water and how you can change the vibration by just even talking to it. So if you bless your food, bless your tea, bless whatever you're doing, you're changing the vibration. You're giving thanks for it. It's a gratitude. But if it's the opposite, then what happens? And we've seen from the experiments that this Japanese doctor did, you know, when he blessed the water, and the crystals that formed were so beautiful. Ice crystals that would form in the water when it was blessed. If the water was put into a negative atmosphere or was given negative reinforcement, the crystal would be tiny, dark, and crooked. It wouldn't form properly. So the water was taking up the energy of the crystals and the information from the land and the people who live there. So in this, all these years now that we've been working, we're sort of putting together the story that goes all the way through to bring us back to that wholeness and to bring us back to our power. I don't know whether it's back or forward. It's probably forward at this stage because I don't think we can go back. I don't think we ever had the power that they're saying that we have the potential to reach. We are really powerful beings, but we have to learn how to use it. And it's baby steps, step by step by step. You're finding out, okay, that's how you do it. You take the next step. You invest in ethical investments. You use your money in a way, that doesn't harm as much as possible. This is improving all the time. We're using our ability to create community, to communicate. We have Topaz Dragon working with communication. We have the Olive Dragon working with diplomacy. We're starting to listen to each other, to hear what people are saying, and to help them heal. Because each one of us, we're walking around we're acupuncture needles on the earth. Everywhere we go, we bring our energy. You can't leave your energy behind. You bring your energy, you bring your vibration, you create the morphic field around you. What's going on around you? What's going on in your house? What are you attracting into your life? And so it starts opening the consciousness, that you become much, much more conscious of what's going on energetically around you. Okay, that feels good, that doesn't feel good. We're like in the supermarket yesterday, I was testing and it was like, not apples today, the apples were not testing. So, and I do it automatically now, walking through everywhere, blessing people. If I see a stray dog, if we see a stray of any sort, or any animal being abused, or any person being abused, blessings, offering blessings.
I think this is interesting what you're saying, because we usually think ourselves as powerless. We watch the news and we said, oh my God, there is a war, there's nothing I can do. Oh my God, there is an election in some sort of country, there is nothing I can do. And the dragon said, for God's sake, there is something you can do. As human beings on earth, we are the ones who activate the energy for anything that is happening on earth. So we need to give permission for the light beings to act. Negative energy can just interfere with anything. They can just walk into your life and blow in your ear and whatever. But for the light beings to work, we need to call them. Be it dragons, I don't know what is the background of each one of you. It could be dragons, masters, angels, archangels, doesn't really matter. But if only you just take your power and say, okay, this news is upsetting me, I'm going to send a dragon to deal with this situation. The stray dog on the street, I won't be able to deal with it. But I can do something. I can ask for somebody to help. I can ask for help. I can light a candle. I can do something. So you stop being powerless and you take your power and you do something. At the same time, somebody else is praying for peace in another country, in another place, and this all energy gathered together, it will change. It does change. We just need to not be passive. We just need to do something. It doesn't matter if it's not going to happen tomorrow, because when we want the war to end, we want it to end by in about 2 hours, preferably, and not a process. But something, for some reason, this happened, and the healing needs to happen. And if we work together, especially my experience, if there's 3 of us, we can change a lot of things. So don't ever think yourself as
Three
powerless. Just
is the minimum, well, I'm not saying it's the minimum, but it helps if you have a triangle. If you have
it's
three
about
people on
no,
the same,
you start to change mass reaction in the collective unconscious.
yeah. And more and more and more, it helps. You know, the more people you have working on the same intention, and it's the same. We have, you know, the ritual. We have usually around 30 people working together to manifest whatever is needed. And we always have a planetary issue that we work with as well. So we send healing to people. The same if there's somebody ill in your house or in your family or something like that, you can light a candle for them. You can send them blessings. You can stop worrying and visualizing them dying or getting worse or having their leg chopped off or whatever. This is sending negative vibrations. So really, really important to visualize somebody healed. We are
I
all
think
healed.
sorry. I think one of the advantages of working with dragons, you kind of lose your fear
Yeah,
more and you get stronger and stronger and you're not scared anymore. There is a trust that comes from within that you don't, that moves you forward. That hole that we grew up with in the middle of the chest, it's not there anymore. There is that knowing, there is the strength that you feel on the chest, which is quite powerful. And
yeah.
I was wondering, yeah, if you wanted to know some of the symbolism of the dragons or not, or if you are, I'll tell you. If not, or we tell you. I can
Go
start, and if
ahead.
it's boring, raise your hand and I'll find out.
If it's too boring,
No, all the other people are raising their hands now.
how are we doing for time? We're going to stop in about 5 or 6 minutes, just have a little break, and then we'll go on to a little bit of work with the mandala, if you like.
It would be great to then possibly and to just connect with the dragon.
Yeah.
And why don't we do that? Would you lead the way, or
Yep.
what would you like to do?
So
We have a dragon in the area already, and you could close your eyes if you want to close your eyes.
So the way we connect with the dragons is the 3-heart connection. So I'll just explain it a bit and then we'll do it, okay? So your heart to the heart of the earth, and your heart to the heart of the cosmos.
And the ray of light from your heart to the earth, to the heart of the earth.
That's what I
and
said.
see this connection getting really strong.
So let's close our eyes and breathe into our hearts. And just feel the energy of your heart expanding. Until it expands around you. And we're going to ask that connection to go down to the center of the earth, to the heart of Gaia, the mother, grandmother, goddess, to the crystals at the center of the earth, to the field of manifestation, for everything on the earth. So we're holding that connection, we're going deeper and deeper and deeper. And as we connect with the earth, we connect with all the elements of nature. Pan and the fairies and the elves and all the elemental beings of fire, air, water, earth. And just feel that connect through the soles of your feet. As if you're expanding your roots like an enormous tree, all the way around you in a big circle. So that you can then start to receive through these roots all the nutrients from the earth. All the goodness, all the elements, all the minerals, and receiving them through your roots into the cells of your body. Upgrading your DNA, entering into your bone marrow, into your blood, and circulating throughout the body. The energies of the earth. And reconnecting with our hearts. We're going to send a ray of energy to the source of all creation, to the center of the cosmos. To the highest light that you can possibly imagine. And just breathe it in, let it come into your body. It's like the first breath of being born. And just feel that connecting with the Dragon Energy team, with the angels, archangels, the mentors, all of our personal guides. And receiving those energies into our heart. Creating heaven on earth inside us. Around us, we're giving thanks for our lives. We give thanks to the four directions. We give thanks for everything good in our lives. We give thanks for the beauty of the earth. And we give thanks for the light and the spiritual connections. And as we do this, we're creating a chamber, a healing chamber inside ourselves. And this is somewhere you can always go when you have a problem or you have an issue or you need your questions answered. It's just connecting, doing this heart connection, calling in all the helpers, the guides, the elements, the dragons, who can guide you to make the wisest choices and take the next step. And the dragon invocation. We are loved, we are blessed, we are healed, we are united with the source of all creation. We are filled and surrounded with love. We are filled and surrounded with light. We're free from fear. We're free from pain. We're free from all interfering vibrations. We call on our higher selves and our guides, the dragon team, to lead us to our perfect place of self-expression, a place of love, a place of light, a place of peace, a place where we can reach our highest potential. We call on the dragons of the air to fly with us now. We call the dragons of the fire to help us transmute energies with their flaming passion. We call on the dragons of the water to help us flow with clarity and direction. We call on the dragons of the earth to help us sing and dance with all beings of the earth. And so be it.
Just feeling a dragon coming to connect with you. And the dragon that wanted to connect with us tonight is Uranian. Uranian is a dragon that is the dragon of depth. He will invite you to not scratch the surface, just go beyond, research more, study more, know more, be curious. There is more at the bottom. So each one of you separately invite Uranian in. Feel his energy. And ask.
Transforming those old patterns. Uranium helps us to go deeper and deeper within ourselves, to find out who we truly are, what patterns we're running, what habits we have.
It can be cleared with his presence. Is there anything that you want to know more? Is there anything that you want to study, research? So I'm going to ask Iranian Dragon if there's any mental blocks for you to achieve that, for them to be removed now. Yes, it's possible. Yes, I'll make it. I have what it takes to get the truth. If there are emotional blockages, especially guilt, fear, shame, ask it to be released now. Released now. And please feel the energy working. That's how you know that you're working with a dragon. It's through feeling. The emotional, you'll feel your chest area, your stomach area. If there is any energetic blockages, on your path, either success, self-discovery, research, learning. We're asking Uranian to remove it now. Allow yourself to have images, even if you think it's made up by your own mind. Let it flow. But we also have spiritual blockages. It could be from negative interferences, could be interferences from our ancestors, could be from an experience that we had in past lives that was too scared to repeat it. So if there are any kind of spiritual energy that needs to be removed so you can get to the bottom of things, let Uranian remove it now. And it's possible that you get a personal message. Some of you will get a whole sentence, some of you will get just a word, some of you will get an image. And if it's not clear, ask Uranian, what does it mean? Oh, I saw a crystal. What's this crystal for? Oh, I saw a tree. Which tree is this one? What am I going to do with it? Ask Uranian and stay with the first answer. And Uranian is sending a special blessing to the Vale das Lobas. He's going deep, deep, deep into the ground in all the layers underneath the Vale das Lobas. Awakening a power point of transformation. That it's planetary, it's not just local. So just see this energy being awakened, and like a stream pillar of life exploding into the air. Going beyond the clouds, the stratosphere, and connecting with source of creation. Powers, portals 97, 98, 99. Feel the energy bursting from your chest and to the whole of the earth, the planet. Mental.
Yep.
Healing.
So, what I'm feeling is huge gratitude for the space that you've created here and the expansion of the energies of this place. Because as we've been told before, Portugal will be one of the leaders of the new earth. So the energy that's been put in here, the pattern that has been held here for such a long time, there's huge gratitude coming in for that. And just feeling that, and all of the people who surround this area, all of the local people, all of the integration of the work that you've done, and the people who've worked on this project here, it's amazing. You know, on the earthly plane, it's been a battle, but it's coming through on spiritual levels, on every level now. You can feel that connection coming through. And you guys are holding a very important space here. You know, this will go to the collective. Humanity will get uplifted, even if they don't know it. It will eventually reach the consciousness, you know, of all the people who are helping bring these new patterns into the earth. So.
And so I feel that they are online. We can end here. And
Yes.
you can carry on with your
Yeah, we're going to have
demonstration.
tea and then we'll explain a little bit about the mandalas and the cards and how they work. Okay?
So can we end the proper way for us online? With loads of gratitude.
So,
Lots of respect.
a special way of ending with your hands over your head, with
Lots
much
of love.
gratitude, with much respect, with much love, and always, always.
A lot of fun and happiness and joy. Big hug to you all. Have a wonderful time playing
Thank
with the
you so
dragons.
much.
It's wonderful to see everybody online. Thank you for connecting.
Lovely
Thank you.
to see you,
Thank you.
Susie, Mary, Anthony, and I know it's not Becky, Louise. Lovely to see you all. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.